So it's an honor for ma'am that people are here.
And we are also honored.
उनको भी कुछ जानने को मिलेगा. Basically, they are the
And we are also honored
gender specific programs
that you have given the chance to be together. श्री महाप्रभु वाले अपना भेजें. आवाज कर रहा है.
सक्षम और क्या नाम है?
हेलो. अरे जी आएगी. अब मुझे सेंड कर दीजिए.
Mr. Upendra, can you mute yourself?
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello. His voice is my voice is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Voice is coming.
Hello.
Ma'am, there's an echo, madam. We can hear twice.
Volume. Dheera persons. Mr. Ajay is here. Hello.
Yes, sir, is not here, ma'am.
आवाज नहीं आ रही, उनकी आवाज नहीं मुझे आ रही।
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Your voice is very slow. Hello. Hello.
Yes, madam.
पिछले साल का
हेलो।
हाँ मैडम, सुनाई दे रहा है।
सुनाई दे रहा है ना? शुड वी
हाँ
स्टार्ट?
मैम। यस मैडम।
वी आर अरेंजिंग इट। नहीं, बच्चों को इनकी आवाज भी तो सुनाई देनी चाहिए ना। And other school, Sanskriti Srijan Academy, India, Ramanujan. My voice is clear?
Abhita, madam.
Yeah.
Madam, there is some echo. You log out from one system, madam.
Yes.
You are logged in two systems, madam. So the reason we are getting resound, you just logged out one system, madam.
Hello. Only by with laptop. Okay. But I'm not getting your voice in the link.
Hear me now, ma'am?
Yes, no, but in the phone, na, not in the screen.
Zoom call only, madam. I'm just. Can you hear me now, ma'am?
No, not in the phone, not in the Dheera program.
Come, just give me a minute.
क्या आवाज आ रही है? ठीक है ना, म्यूजिक कहाँ से? वो कह रहे हैं कि 2 सिस्टम में ज्वाइन किया, इस वजह से नहीं आ रहे हैं। ठीक, आपने उसको म्यूट नहीं किया ना? हेलो हेलो,
Yes, madam.
इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you, ma'am.
Yes, madam. आप you can start.
Then I am starting.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Nandini, madam.
I
Can you
start?
hear me, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
good afternoon, ma'am.
okay. Now today at Allahabad, I am doing this offline online combined meeting of WOW. WOW means Violence Against Women among the 9 schools. They are Srijan, Sanskriti Srijan Academy, Allahabad Public School, Handia PG School, National Inter College, Dr. Devraj Singh Public School, Ramanujan, Shri Mahaprabhu Public School, Srinivasan Ramanujan Public, and Sanskrit Srijan. So, what is violence? Today's our agenda, जिसके लिए हम आपके पास आए हैं, वो वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन। जैसा कि आप लोग ने महसूस किया होगा कि हमारे यहाँ लड़का लड़की का भेदभाव होता है और ये आगे जाके एक वायलेंस में चेंज हो जाता है, बदल जाता है। तो इसको रोकने के लिए हमारी फॉक्सी, फेडरेशन ऑफ ऑप्स एंड गायनी सोसाइटी, ऑल इंडिया में डॉक्टर शांता कुमारी प्रेसिडेंट हैं, उन्होंने ये बीड़ा उठाया कि हमें इसके अगेंस्ट कुछ करना चाहिए, सो दैट कि वी कैन से नो टू वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन। इसके लिए ये धीरा प्रोग्राम शुरू किया गया था 2016-17 में कि कंटिन्यू रखें ये, और इसके लिए बहुत सारे काम हुए हैं, कैंपेन किए गए हैं। तो अब ये स्कूलों को इन्वॉल्व किया गया है कि तुम बच्चे, क्योंकि आप ही लोगों को आगे जाके सोसाइटी को फेस करना है, और कुछ लोग अभी भी अपने घरों में दे मस्ट बी फेसिंग, या तो उनके सामने किसी और को हो रहा होगा, तो कैसा आपको बिहेव करना है। हम लोग का जैसे मेडिकल में होता है प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर, तो हम कैसे इनको पहले ही रोक सके, और उसी के लिए आपको मैं और 2 और मास्टर ट्रेनर आपको इसके बारे में बताएंगे।
Yes, ma'am.
You can follow this program on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. हमारा एम क्या है? वाओ माइंडसेट इज हाउ टू नर्चर अ चाइल्डहुड, कि हम बचपन से ही बच्चों को कैसे पालें क्योंकि उनके अंदर वाओ की फीलिंग आ ना पाए। अभी तो आपके साथ ऑफलाइन कर रही हूँ, बट एक्चुअली दिस इज एन ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम, सो इफ यू विल रजिस्टर्ड ऑनलाइन, you have to fill the pre-test, and after the program you have to fill the post-test and the feedback, and then you can get the automatic generated certificate of this WOW program. This WOW program is associated combined program of UNICEF, FOXY, FIGO, WHO, and it is being considered in all over the world. Dheera means courageous, patience. We should be patience and courageous. ये जो पेशेंस होता है मीन्स थोड़ा सा रखना, कि यहाँ पे किसी ने जरा सी बात करी हम भड़क जाते हैं और फिर ईगो आ जाती है और फिर शुरू होता है एक नेगेटिव चक्र की हम वाव में फंसते हैं। #Dheera all together. It is said by Ford Elkabarov, not all men practice violence against women, but all women live with the threat of male violence every single day all over the earth. और ये फैक्ट है, हर लड़का बुरा नहीं होता है, बट जो भी 10, 15, 20% होते हैं, उसकी वजह से आज भी लड़कियों को हमेशा एक डर रहता है। इसीलिए आपके माँ बाप आपको बहुत कुछ करने नहीं देते जो आप लोग करना चाहते हैं। ये
मैडम आपके स्लाइड्स प्रोजेक्ट नहीं हो रहे हैं।
सुनो
मैडम,
बेटा,
first thing, मैडम, sorry to interrupt you, शांता मैडम का वीडियो प्ले करना है मैडम फर्स्ट।
एक्चुअली आई हैड फॉरगेटेड, आई हैव टू डू इट माय
मैडम का वीडियो प्ले करना है। ओके मैम, कैन आई प्ले द वीडियो?
वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन, इट्स ए ह्यूमन राइट वायलेशन। हर ह्यूमन का, चाहे वो लड़का हो चाहे लड़की हो, इट्स अ राइट ऑफ फ्रीडम कि वो अपनी मर्जी से कुछ कर सके, बट इट्स अ वेरी शेमफुल एक्ट। शॉर्ट टर्म एंड लॉन्ग टर्म physical, economic and psychological consequences, prevents their full and equal participation in the society. Magnitude of its impact on society is immeasurable. Condition created by pandemic. आप लोग ने ये सुना ही होगा, लॉकडाउन में झगड़े ज्यादा बढ़ गए थे, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस बढ़ गई थी, पेपर्स में सब जगह पड़ा, डाइवोर्स के केसेस बढ़ गए थे, क्योंकि जब रहने लगे और पेशेंस नहीं है तो झगड़ा होता है, और झगड़े के साथ फिर वो स्पाइक ऑफ वुमेन डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस बढ़ गए थे। क्या तुम लोग क्या समझते हो, क्या ये सही है? हाँ, इस बिहेवियर को आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? हेलो
मैडम, मैडम ये स्लाइड्स आर नॉट मूविंग और शांता मैम का वीडियो प्ले करना मैडम फर्स्ट।
हाँ, तो वो हमें
वीडियो
प्ले करने के आप प्ले करेंगे?
मैं प्ले करूंगा, आप बताइए, मैं प्ले करूंगा। और ये जो स्लाइड्स ये नहीं है मैडम, जो आप जो पीपीटी रखे ना वो नहीं है, दूसरा स्लाइड से ना धीरा। ओके मैम, मैं शेयर करूंगा पीपीटी, आप बताइए।
आप कर दीजिए पहले शेयर।
ठीक है मैडम, वीडियो प्ले करता हूँ, आप शेयर स्टार्ट शेयर करिए आप।
ठीक ठीक। अच्छा, आपको सबसे पहले जो है डॉक्टर शांता कुमारी का एक वीडियो डिस्प्ले हो रहा है, जिसको आपको देख के इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस पता चलेगी कि क्या है धीरा।
Dear friends, Foxians, and the women of my country, I am Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecological Societies of India. As a doctor and a woman myself, I have observed very closely how prevalent violence against women is across the strata of our society and the enormous impact it has on the health of our women. My theme for the year as the President Foxy is Foxy for all always, and Dheera, stop violence against women.
Dr. Shanta Kumari, who has relentlessly campaigned for the issues of girl child. I was happy to be the ambassador of Foxy Figure Ox in 2013, and I hope that me being an ambassador has motivated a lot of girls and many families.
Violence against women is a serious human rights violation, leading to injury and sometimes even death. Unfortunately, 1 in 3 women experience some sort of physical and sexual violence during their lifetime. Violence in pregnancy is also widely prevalent, leading to unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, neglected pregnancies with no antenatal care, all these contributing to maternal morbidity and near miss. As obstetricians and gynecologists, we have a great opportunity to assess and support women who experience violence because of the unique opportunity where we get to see them during the pregnancy, during the family planning visits, during the annual checkups, and multiple other times when they come to us. I strongly believe that by eliminating the violence against women, we are not only reaching the SDG goals, but also creates a just and equal society for our women. Until we make men and boys active partners, we can never end the violence against women. In an endeavor to sensitize our own fraternity, my initiative of Dheera was started to eliminate violence against women.
I completely support her vision and mission as President Foxy, and also especially support her campaign, Dheera, Stop Violence Against Women.
It was in 2016 at the launch of Dheera. We brought together the police, the obstetrician gynecologists, the National Commission for Women, the women and men on one single platform to wear orange and say no to violence against women. We organized the public forum and cyclothon to launch our Dheera. In 2017 at the Foxy Figo Congress, we partnered with men and organized the bikeathon and the flash mob. The high point of Dheera was at the International Figo Congress at Rio, Brazil in 2018. The declaration on no to violence against women was signed with Figo and WHO. It was here global societies pledged their support to end this violence against women. The Dheera campaign and march at the World Congress of Figo in Rio in 2018 got wide international publicity. No change is possible unless the young minds adopt it and make it a part of their life. Young minds are open and creative. They accept change. Foxy has always worked with adolescents for their health and well-being. Dheera this year adds a new page. I'm happy to share with you all that we are launching the Dheera online school certification course across the length and breadth of our country in all the schools. Foxy for all always. Dheera, stop violence against women.
Just hold on.
Madam, shall I share the PPTs?
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Should I start?
Yes, madam.
Okay. यहीं से start करें. Okay. We were talking about walk, and you have seen a beautiful video of Dr. Shanta Kumari. Now we will continue from where we have break. Are you aware? You have seen any woman being beaten, threatened, scolded at home? तो हाथ उठाएं. चलिए. हाँ, हाथ उठाओ बेटा. देखो यही है कि बोलने में डरो मत. We have to speak out. Do you think this is right? Do you think this is right? What is such behavior called? Is there any word to describe about it? मेरी वीडियो नहीं चल रही. Next. नहीं slide. Amit. This is called WAP, violence against women. Do you think this shameful human right violation, is present most widespread? It knows no boundaries of geography, culture, or wealth. As long it is continued, there is no real progress towards equality, development, and peace. Because if we are living in fear, there cannot be no progress. Vow is forcing a woman to live in fear. एक डर में रहने को वो कहते हैं. Violence केवल मारपीट नहीं है. Violence can be mental, sexual, or physical, and sometimes it is in combination. What are the roots of war? इसकी जड़ें क्या है? जड़ें हैं टॉक्सिक मैस्कुलिनिटी, जिसको हम कहते हैं मर्दाग्नि, मतलब गलत तरीके से समाज में पहले से ही बोला जाता। वी विल टेल एक्सप्लेन। जेंडर बायस, सेक्सिज्म, पैट्रियर्चल सोसाइटी, जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइपिंग। आप लोग को क्या ये टर्म्स मालूम है? आर यू अवेयर ऑफ दीज टर्म्स? वी विल टेल यू इन डिटेल। जेंडर बायस, लिंग पक्षपात, लिंग पर पक्षपात, ये सब बचपन से ही हम लोग देखते हैं कि हमेशा मेल्स को प्रेफरेंस देते हैं। हमारे कंट्री में गर्ल्स आर कंसीडर टू बी बर्डन, फीटिसाइड एंड इन्फेंटिसाइड, बच्चों को पेट के अंदर ही मार देना या जन्म लेते ही लड़कियों को मार देना, या उनकी नेग्लेक्टिंग देयर हेल्थ इश्यूज। ठीक है, ये आपके माँ बाप तो आपको पढ़ा रहे हैं, तो यू मस्ट हैव नॉट फील दैट, बट आपके घर में और जो आते हैं सर्वेंट्स हैं और लोग, तो आपको उनको भी देखना है कि कहीं पे भी आपके आसपास ये ना हो। नेक्स्ट इज पैट्रियर्ची। ये क्या है? पितृ सत्तात्मकता, मतलब मेल डोमिनेंसी, कि मेल ही किसी फैमिली का हेड हो सकता है, मेल को ही फाइनेंशियल पावर है। अ सिस्टम ऑफ सोसाइटी और गवर्नमेंट इन विच men holds the power and women are largely excluded from it. Decision making rests with the male in the family. This is still true. It's a long time, I think 30-40 years we are talking about equality. But where is the equality? हमारे देश की प्रधानमंत्री भी फीमेल थी और अब जल्दी ही प्रेसिडेंट भी एक फीमेल हो रही है, बट स्टिल अगर हम किसी जड़ पे रूट में देखें तो ये इक्वलिटी नहीं है। तो वेयर इज रॉन्ग, कहाँ पे है, कहाँ पे हमें ठीक करना है? जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइपिंग, लिंग रूढ़िबद्धता, मतलब ये बचपन से ही हम सोच लेते हैं कि लड़कियां, गर्ल्स आर फेथफुल, इट इज मीन्स बॉयज आर नॉट फेथफुल, बोथ आर फेथफुल। गर्ल्स आर इमोशनल, boys are also emotional, उनका भी दिल होता है। Tolerant is considered the quality of female. Is it not like we all human beings should be tolerant, sympathetic? Girls should be always dependent. We are saying that wherever girls are not dependent, they are independent. But इट इज कंसीडर, और उसी को स्टीरियोटाइपिंग कहते हैं कि एक स्टीरियोटाइपिंग से चलते। बॉयज को हमेशा कम्पिटिटिव, लॉजिकल, स्ट्रैजिक, एग्रेसिव। व्हाई बॉयज शुड बी एग्रेसिव? नोबडी शुड बी एग्रेसिव, नोबडी शुड बी इंडिपेंडेंट, एवरीबडी शुड बी इंडिपेंडेंट। बट यहाँ पे इंडिपेंडेंट का मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि सब अपने मन के मालिक हो। सोसाइटी के रूल्स इज डिफरेंट थिंग। सेक्सिज्म, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय सेक्सिज्म? मतलब लिंग भेद। बहुत सारे पहले लड़कियों के वेतन कम होते थे, अब ये सब नहीं आप देखते हो, बट कहीं कहीं पर नौकरी रखने से पहले देखते हैं कि ये तो लड़की है, हम क्यों रखें। फीमेल्स आर नॉट बायोलॉजिकली इंफीरियर वीक, ना तो वो बायोलॉजिकल इंफीरियर है ना वो वीक है, दे आर स्ट्रॉन्ग। बट रक्षाबंधन का हमारा त्योहार है, भाई को राखी बांधनी है कि हमारी रक्षा करें। व्हाई नॉट हम इस कस्टम को बदलते हैं कि भाई बहन दोनों एक दूसरे को राखी बांधे, कि समय आने पर दोनों एक दूसरे की हेल्प करेंगे। तो कुछ ऐसे जो लिंग भेद के कारण है उनको हमें खत्म करना है। स्टीरियोटाइपिंग भी एक सेक्सिज्म का ही एग्जाम्पल है। Discrimination, typically against women based on sex, gender. Can you think of any example of sexism? आप लोग अपना सोचिए और जहां हो रहा है उसको आपस में शेयर करिए with your teachers कि how you should be behave. आपने देखा है कि ड्यूरिंग ड्राइविंग ऑल्सो कहा जाता है लड़कियां अच्छा नहीं चलाती और लड़कों को कहा जाता वही तेज चलाती है, पर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि तेज चलाने के चक्कर में लड़कियां जबरदस्ती तेज चलाएं. इट इज कंसिडर कि भाई यहाँ कहीं पे कहते हैं अरे लड़कियां अच्छी होती है. क्यों लड़कियां, लड़कियां दोनों को हमें बराबर देखना है. व्हाट इज टॉक्सिक मैस्कुलिनिटी? टॉक्सिक मैस्कुलिनिटी ये होता है कि एक गलत तरीके से बचपन से ही लड़कों को ये सिखाना कि तुम लड़के हो, तुम आदमी हो, तुम स्ट्रांग हो. आई एम स्ट्रांग. फिर आई डोंट क्राई, आई कैन कंट्रोल, आई एम द बॉस, आई एम द सेवियर, मतलब मैं ही बचाने वाला हूं. लड़के हैं इसलिए रोना नहीं है. बट इसका इमोशन दोनों में होता है. एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग इज इमोशनल एंड स्ट्रांग. बट इसकी वजह से सुना होगा आप लोगों ने, कहा जाता है कि लड़कों में ही ज्यादा हार्ट अटैक और हार्ट की प्रॉब्लम्स होती है बिकॉज ऑफ देयर ईगो. और ये जो ईगो होती है वो फिर मानसिक बीमारियों में पैदा हो जाती है और फिर वो पैदा करता है वाव. अब ये डॉक्टर्स, व्हाई डॉक्टर्स फॉर वुमेन वांट्स टू टॉक अबाउट, why we have come as a doctors talking about all over the country, because we obstetric and gynecologists are the specialist stakeholder of women's health and occupying a unique position. Gynecologists are points of contact who can recognize change in lifestyle. Many illness is the have a root in violence. कि कितने भी बहुत सारी बीमारियां ऐसी हैं जिसकी जड़ जो होती है वो वायलेंस होती है. कि अगर वो खुल के जी नहीं पा रही, खाना ढंग से नहीं खा रही तो एनीमिया है ना. बट हमेशा एनीमिया का कारण वायलेंस है ऐसा नहीं है, कभी कभी आदत भी होती है. हाँ, मोस्ट ऑफ द हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम इन वुमेन आर रूटेड इन वायलेंस. सीरियस हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम, कभी कभी प्रेगनेंसी में भी कुछ सीरियस हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम आती है जो कि बहुत मुश्किल होता है पहचानना, बट दे हैव रूट इन वायलेंस. अगर हम उसको और अच्छी तरह से देखेंगे तो हमें इंजरीज के भी साइन मिलेंगे. और देन और दूसरी चीज, तुम बच्चों के लिए स्पेशली सबसे पहले आपके माँ बाप आते हैं, फिर टीचर्स हैं, फिर डॉक्टर्स हैं. आप किसी से भी शेयर करो जहां से आपको करे, बट छुपाने की कोशिश मत करो. गलत कामों में शर्माना अच्छी बात है बट गलत चीजों के लिए नहीं. वी हैव टू स्पीक आउट. वाई धीरा? डॉक्टर शांता कुमारी हैज बॉट दिस program all over the world and she is talking about Dheera because we want all girls and boys should be courageous and should be able to stop violence at the point of their generation. There is campaign, you have already seen the videos, founded by Foxy President Dr. Shanta Kumari to stop violence against women. Our aim is to All India initiative to sensitize, orient and train 36,000 obstetrics and gynecologists, 5 lakhs boys and girls from class 9th to 12th, and also 15,000 teachers, so that they can stop the violence and we can say no to violence against women. Hashtag Dheera together. Let's tweet together. Building a voice. Our target is 10 lakh tweets. So add your courageous voice to the conversation. You should all register on your email. You must have performed the pre-test. Now you should, after this full lecture, 6th lecture, you should perform post-test and have a feedback so that certificate can be awarded to all participants of course attendance and submission of registration. Thank you. And in the last, I will wish you all of your better future, better society, free of all violence, so that you can do your best. Thank you. कनेक्ट करें, इससे कनेक्ट करें। अमित पूछो, सब जगह ठीक आ रहा है?
इको आ रहा है तो सेट कर दिया
ठीक है,
हंडिया वगैरह में आ
और इनसे भी बात कर लो, हैदराबाद वाले से, अजय से भी, और हैदराबाद। ये है 0207।
अच्छा ठीक है, मैं बात करूंगा।
क्वेश्चंस हो जो पैड आपको दिए गए हैं उसमें आप लिख दीजिए, जिससे कि हम लोग मेल से उसको फीड कर लेंगे। खोल लो डायरी। हाँ हाँ हाँ, नहीं जैसे बने वैसे लिखते जाइए तो फीड करेंगे।
जैसे आप लोग के माइंड में कोई क्वेश्चन आ रहा हो तो आप उसको लिख सकते हैं।
वो नंबर तो हो गया, ठीक है।
हाँ, everything is good. Ask ma'am to take the second topic.
ओके,
And-
सेकंड
हाँ, मुझे सेकंड कर दो, थोड़ा सा अगर फास्ट कर सके तो बोलना।
हाँ बस टाइप को। अब मैं नेक्स्ट लेक्चर लूंगी टाइप ऑफ वॉ। उसके बाद आपको मैनेजमेंट ऑफ वॉ जो है डॉक्टर नंदिनी बताएंगी, और पीयर प्रेशर वो डॉक्टर चित्रा बताएंगे, ठीक है। ये है ना, इसमें आपने जो स्लाइड बनाया था, हाँ टाइप। Now, this is types of war. For Dheera, an initiative by Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of Federation of Obs
Madam,
and
please share
Gynecological
your screen, madam.
Society of India.
Madam, please share your screen.
Violence, war can be physical violence, acid attack, honor killing,
madam.
femicide, and sexual violence.
Madam,
Psychological violence, मनोवैज्ञानिक violence, financial manipulation, emotional abuse,
मैडम
bullying,
प्लीज
stalking.
आपकी स्लाइड शेयर कीजिए,
हेलो,
आपकी स्लाइड शेयर कीजिए मैडम। स्क्रीन
शेयर नहीं हुआ, देखो इसमें शेयर करो, शेयर है मैडम, इसमें नहीं दिख रहा। Is it
I
not
can't see
shared?
the screen, ma'am. No, madam.
Okay. अच्छा शेयर नहीं किया ना तुमने, यहाँ से शेयर। Now it's okay.
We can't see, madam. Everything
Yeah?
is blank.
अमित देखो शेयर नहीं हुआ क्या?
हाँ मैडम अभी आ गए।
Okay. Psychological violence, and somewhere it is combination of both domestic violence. Once again, you should have
Madam?
registration.
मैडम आप यू गो टू स्लाइड शो।
हेलो
Not full screen, madam.
बेटे, उसको होल्ड हो गया है, होल्ड हो गया।
स्लाइड मूव नहीं हो
स्लाइड
रही।
शो कर दीजिए ना।
Madam, I'll share a screen for you, madam.
नहीं नहीं, टाइप्स ऑफ वो उसमें नहीं आ रहा ना, देखो। ठीक है, नहीं तो नीचे नहीं आ रहा क्या, उससे उधर नहीं जा रहा। हाँ स्लाइड शो कर दीजिए ना तो जल्दी हो जाता है, में करना पड़ता है तो टाइम लगता है। स्लाइड शो में कर दो, हम बोलते जाएंगे। ठीक है, कर दो। इज इट ओके नाउ?
स्लाइड शो कर दूं?
हाँ हाँ, जल्दी होता है ना, वो अटकता है उससे।
इसके अंदर ऑप्शन
नहीं होता ना, ठीक है। पूछो, इज इट ओके?
Madam, I'll share the screen for you, ma'am.
इज इट ओके?
No, madam. It's not full screen.
Okay. पूछो, आवाज तो आ रही है पर धीमे है आवाज। अरे क्या इंटरेस्टिंग कहाँ से आ गया? ठीक, पूछो उनसे। ठीक, अरे इंटरेस्टिंग कहाँ से?
यहाँ सर एकदम गर्मी भी आई नहीं रही।
पासवर्ड क्या करना
0207।
कई बच्चे ऐसे बैठे हैं जो हाँ हाँ सर
just sell. I will just try again. Just
Sure.
give us a chance.
हाँ दूसरा वो अपनी चलाती हूँ अपनी दोनों सही हाल है।
I'm doing. This is okay now?
तो बता कर वो सोचते हैं हमारी पहुंच वहाँ तक है ये सब कोई हम चला रहे हैं आगे कोई नहीं बन रही है तो वही तो कह रहे।
Is it okay?
Madam, go to slideshow.
Yeah, but I am not able to go to slideshow by this my laptop.
Madam, you tell Shriman, he will do it.
What he is doing?
नहीं वो ऊपर से आ भी लगता है।
कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं आप जब भी होगा नेक्स्ट बोल दीजिए तो वहां से चेंज
ठीक है, तो कट तो दो तो दे।
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Types of war for Dheera, an initiative by Shanta Kumari. Next. The content of this lecture is types of war, physical violence, psychological violence, and combination of both. Next. You should all register pre-registration. You should all have the registration. Certificate will be awarded to all the participants. Of course, attendance and submission of registration, pre-test, post-test, and feedback. Next, physical violence. Physical violence means शारीरिक हिंसा. एसिड अटैक के बारे में आप लोग ने सुना हुआ है. It's a form of assault involving throwing a corrosive substance on to another. Sometimes it is used for a blackmail. एक केस आप लोग ने लक्ष्मी अग्रवाल. Lakshmi was attacked in 2005. She was only 15 years, and it was just that she has rejected the romantic advances of man who was 32 years. You must have seen the picture Chapak. Next, question is what to do? What can you do? First is we have to identify the attack of threatened or attempted. So we should speak out in the beginning also. When you feel that somebody is going to report to trusted adult and police. Make sure to stay away from person threatening. Always try to travel with others. Under section 326 IPC, imprisonment not less than 5 years, but which may extend to 7 years and shall be liable. If attack reported, attack to the doctor. Make sure to get treatment as soon as possible. घर में छुपे मत रहो. Report attack to adult. Talk to your parents, teachers, police, anyone you trust. Make sure you stay away from perpetrator or crime. Report attack to the authorities. We should not be afraid of reporting the attack to the authorities. Section 326A IPC can be charged, leading to imprisonment of not less than 10 years, which may extend to imprisonment for life. Fine charged to meet the medical expenses of victim. Next. Next. This is honor killing. सम्मान रक्षा हेतु हत्या. सम्मान इतना बड़ा हो जाता है कि हम अपनी ही लड़कियों की या अपने गांव के लड़कियों की हत्या कर देते हैं. Murder of an individual, either an outsider or a member of a family, used to protect reputation of a family, as it is believed that the victim brought disrepute to the family. It is so wrong. Wrong practice, and we should all participate to stop these all activities. Next is femicide, a gender-based crime. Arises when society prefers male over female. They can take the form of human-based hate crimes, infanticide, killing of a newborn female child, feticide, abortion of fetuses, मतलब भ्रूण हत्या based on the gender, या बाल हत्या, शिशु हत्या. Next, sexual assault. What is sexual assault? Yawn hamla, an act in which a man sexually touches a woman or compels her to get naked forcefully and without outward consent. It is punishable under the section 354 IPC with 1 to 5 years and a fine. Causes, but what happened about the tortures female? They cause long-term mental trauma to the victim. If you see sexual assault taking place, stop it, or at least you can call for help, even if your friend is the abuser. हमारे दोस्त अगर अब्यूजर होता तो हम उसको नहीं रोकते हैं कि हम कैसे रोकें. But we should see if our friend is abuser, we should stop friendship from him or her. निर्भया एक्ट के बारे में आप जानते हो, 2013, and section 375 IPC protect women against any type of rape, but it can be always possible if somebody speak out. Section 354A IPC protects against sexual harassment and unwanted physical contact. POCSO Act 2012 protects minor from sexual abuse, from being sexual. कुछ चीजें, इतने बच्चे, छोटे बच्चों का आप लोग ने सुना होगा, 3 साल का 5 साल का बच्चा, कभी बहुत नोन फैमिली के नोन ही सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट करते हैं, जब उस बच्चे को मालूम भी नहीं होता है और घर के लोग ही उसको छुपाने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो सबसे बड़ी खराब चीज तो ये है. तो वी शुड नॉट स्टॉप टॉकिंग अबाउट एंड वी शुड नॉट बी शेम अबाउट. अगर हमारी गलती नहीं है तो व्हाई शुड वी बी शेम अबाउट. नेक्स्ट, इफ यू आर अ सर्वाइवर, तो हमको छुप कर नहीं रहना है. वी शुड नॉट बी शेम योरसेल्फ. यू आर नॉट टू बी ब्लेम. और ऐसे ही अगर आपकी कोई फ्रेंड है तो उसको भी इस दलदल से निकालो. वो शर्म से बैठ जाए तो फायदा क्या होगा. डोंट, अगर ऐसी कभी भी कोई ऐसी घटना होती है, यू शुड नॉट टेक अ बाथ और वॉश योरसेल्फ. डोंट चेंज योर क्लॉथ. रिपोर्ट करने से पहले राइट डाउन व्हाट हैपेंस, इन्फॉर्म द पुलिस, रिपोर्ट इन अ टाइमली मैनर सो दैट देयर इज एविडेंस. एविडेंस को मिटने नहीं दीजिए. डोंट बी afraid of speak up, as you are never at fault and abuse is bonded to repeat action. I see you, I believe you. It's not your fault. You are not alone. सर्वाइवर को डिप्रेशन में नहीं जाने देना है, उसको उठाना होगा जिससे कि वो स्पीक आउट करे. नेक्स्ट, फाइनेंशियल मैनिपुलेशन. वित्तीय हेरफेर involves making or attempting to make. Next, it is psychological violence, means मनोवैज्ञानिक हिंसा. फाइनेंशियल मैनिपुलेशन, कि हम घर में औरतों को, जैसे राजू मॉनिटर्स हिज वाइफ, Ananya's bank account, does not let her buy what she wants. Raja's parents don't let Ananya to go to work. Wherever there is, we should speak out. Psychological violence. Next, emotional abuse. Next, emotional abuse, undermining a person's sense of self-worth through constant criticism. किसी को कभी कभी तुम ये नहीं कर सकती हो, तुम मोटी हो, तुम काली हो, तो उसी तरह से तुम लड़की हो, तुम्हें ये हक नहीं है. इस तरह के वर्बल अब्यूज नहीं किसी को यूज करने चाहिए, ना करने देना चाहिए. Most common example are name calling, damaging a partner's relationship with children, not letting partners see friends or family. कभी कभी मेल पार्टनर, जैसे ये श्रेया के केस में, she is married to Ashok, whose colleagues mock him for earning less. इस वजह से वो घर में अपना frustration by drinking more often, frequent rage, blackmailing Shreya for divorcing her. When someone use these words, we should say, signs of emotional abuse is disrupting your feeling, making you feel guilty. Nothing you do, you say is good enough, blaming yourself, feeling jealous, humiliating or embarrassing you. These are signs of emotional abuse. Controlling you, telling you how to dress, overreacting for small things. This case में, what do you think? Next, bullying. What is bullying? Continuous harassment, either verbal or physical. Can be in the form of cyber bullying or ragging, because now
अब ठीक है, वो गलती से आपकी
तुमने कर दिया, मैं तो म्यूट ही थी. हाँ. Next, cyber bullying. What can you do if you are being cyber bullied? Check platform anti-bullying policy. Get in contact with customer service representative if confused. Blocking and reporting. Make sure to collect screenshots. File a criminal complaint. Approach the cyber investigation cell. You can report to the cyber cell from any city. If unable to report to cyber cell, lodge FIR or reach women-oriented SHE teams. Next. Stalking. What do you mean by stalking? When an individual follows a woman and repeatedly tries to contact her without consent can occur digitally also and physically also. This is punishable. Section 354D IPC imprisons the culprit for 1 to 3 years and culprit may be liable to fine. But you should report. Sanjay, 17 years, starts to follow Meera everywhere she goes, learning her everyday routine, taking picture, joining her tuition. His friend starts to encourage him, which is very bad, comparing him to popular roles that actors have played in Bollywood. But Meera starts to feel uncomfortable. What can she do next? आप लोग क्या सोचते हो, ये क्या सही है करना? नहीं. तो अगर कोई आपके फ्रेंड्स भी कर रहे हो तो उनको रोके. नेक्स्ट. वॉयरिज्म. ये बहुत जगह आप लोग ने अभी आजकल पेपर में भी आया है, एक दो जगह पर भी, इलाहाबाद में भी एक न्यूज थी, हाँ, कि हॉस्टल में ऐसे करते हैं. तो वी शुड बी कॉन्शियस अबाउट इट. व्हेनेवर वी गो टू न्यू प्लेस, we should see that the watching or taking pictures of women without consent and without the knowledge of the woman. Section 354C IPC imprisons the culprit for 1 to 3 years on first conviction. After more conviction, abusers can be imprisoned for 3 to 7 years. But you should be very, मतलब चौकन्ना रहना चाहिए इसके लिए कि कहाँ पे कैसे क्या हो रहा है, क्योंकि करने वाला तो चुपचाप करता है ना, चालाकी से करता है. नेक्स्ट, ईव टीजिंग. व्हाट इज ईव टीजिंग? ये तो स्कूलों में आप लोग भी, बच्चे लोग एक दूसरे को करते हैं, है ना, पर ये नहीं सोचते कि दूसरे पे क्या असर पड़ता है. Obscene action like unwanted remarks, sexual advances by a man, or insult a woman in a public place is eve teasing. Section 294 IPC punishes men who act or speak in an obscene way for a maximum for 3 months. Section 509 IPC punishes men who acts or uses an object to insult the man, woman with hate. Terms for up to 3 years. But wherever you see, once again I am saying, you should speak out. चुप नहीं रहना चाहिए. Next,
Madam, can you please ask
criminal intimidation. Next,
Madam, can you ask students to mute
what is
themselves,
criminal
madam?
intimidation? जब हम, when someone is threatening to cause death, hurt grievously, or to destroy your property, under section 503 IPC can cause imprisonment for up to 2 years or a fine or both. Next, sexual harassment. What is sexual harassment? Unwelcome sexual advances, request for sexual favors, sexual remark, showing pornography without consent, all constitute as sexual harassment. It should be reported under section 354A IPC, which is punishable with up to 3 years of imprisonment. There is a case study. Unseasonable rain has caused a farmer to lose a considerable amount of crop that he was unable to sell. To make ends meet, he takes a loan from the village loan shark Raghu. After a few months, he was not able to pay the loan. His daughter offers to help settle her father's debt by working for the loan shark. Taking advantage of their desperation, Raghu sexually harasses the girls, but she reported and she is safe. If she would have not reported, she would not be safe. Next. There are many examples of combination of both physical and psychological. Usually domestic violences are combination of both. Next. Domestic violence doesn't just have to between a married couple. Any pattern of behavior used to gain or maintain power or control over the partner. Main issue is most victims of domestic violence do not know that they are being abused. हमारे यहाँ इसको वो सोचते कि ऐसा ही होता है. हमारे यहाँ कुछ घरों में था कि भाई आदमी को तो ये करना ही है, औरतों को तो ये सहना ही. It should not be. हर चीज की एक लिमिट होती है. It is hard to believe a trusted partner could be manipulated. Sometimes जो पार्टनर होता है वो मैनिपुलेटिव होता है, तो नहीं पता चलता, but we should see about it. There can also be harassment from in-laws. Power and control. What are the examples? Using threats, using intimidation, emotional abuse, using isolation, minimizing, denying or blaming, using children, कहीं कहीं बच्चों को यूज करके डराते हैं, using male privilege, and using economic abuse. कि जैसे आपसे पहले उदाहरण था कि भाई खर्चे के लिए नहीं देना, खर्चा नहीं है. Those who are housewives, they are not housewives, now we are saying homemakers. Is it not necessary? जिसकी नौकरी चलेगी उसको अब्यूज करना कि तुम तो कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, टाइम बीइंग के लिए ही चाहे. तो these are examples of power and control. Next, there is a cycle of abuse. और पहले छोटी छोटी बातों से शुरू होता है and then it explodes. Return, excused abuse, minimizes abuse, arranges therapy, and then blaming themselves कि हम ही दोषी हैं. फिर होपफुल हो जाते हैं, रिलीव कर देते हैं, फिर खुश हो जाते हैं, हैप्पीनेस, केयर्ड फॉर प्रिटेंडिंग. Then it causes tension, anxious, walking on eggshells, complaint, reasoning, silence. एंड कभी कभी इसका एक्सप्लोजन हो जाता है. मीन जब हम रोके रखते हैं, शुरू में उसको रोके रहते हैं, तो देन causes explosion of everything. Apologizes, seeks help, break down, fights back, या फिर छोड़ देते हैं, leaves, छोड़ देते हैं, मतलब तलाक केसेस में चेंज हो जाते हैं. That's why घरों में कभी कभी 10-20 साल बाद तलाक होता है, बिकॉज वो सहन कर करके थक जाते हैं. So we should see that we should break the cycle of abuse during the starting, मतलब जहां पर उसका बीज हो रहा है, तो वहां तक वो पहुंचे ही ना. Next, there is a Domestic Violence Act 2005, covers physical, sexual, verbal and economic abuse, grants immediate protection, punishes the abuser with imprisonment up to 3 years. So we should know the laws which is for us. Ending war, one step. Next. So our aim is कि हम इस वॉर को एट ए टाइम ही स्टॉप करने की कोशिश करें, कि वो और ज्यादा आगे बढ़े ना. तो उसके लिए पहचानना जरूरी है. जब पहचानेंगे तभी रोकेंगे, और एक दूसरे की हेल्प भी जरूरी है. अगेन आई एम टेलिंग अबाउट द रजिस्ट्रेशन, Certificate will be awarded to all participants on course attendance and submission of registration, pre-test, post-test, and feedback. Courage is together. Together we should say no to violence against women. Hashtag Dheera together. Let's tweet together. Building a voice, targeting about 1 lakh tweets. So add your courageous ones to the conversation. Thank you. अब आपको डॉक्टर रंदनी बताएंगी हाउ टू मैनेज द वॉर. वो करेंगे ना तो मैं बोला.
Good afternoon to everyone. I will be talking on management strategies for violence against women. Till now, you have learned what is violence against women and what are the different types of violence against women. So after this, there will be introduction, role of bystanders, and bridging the gender divide. You have already done the registration and the pre-test. After all the sessions, kindly do the post-test and write the feedback, after which you will be getting the certificates. What are the factors that contribute to violence against women? So there are various factors like alcohol, superiority complex, stress, anger issues, lack of compassion, troubled childhood, drugs, social discrimination and gender bias. तो कौन से फैक्टर्स हो सकते हैं वायलेंस के? तो कारण हो सकते हैं कोई अल्कोहल पीता है, किसी में ज्यादा गुस्सा है, किसी को ज्यादा स्ट्रेस है. Violence against women mindset is nurtured since childhood based on the way a child is brought up. तो जिसकी जैसी परवरिश होती है घर में, उस तरह से उसने जो जो सीखा होता है बचपन में, उसका वो इफेक्ट पड़ता है और फिर वो एक कंट्रीब्यूटिंग फैक्टर हो सकता है वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन के लिए. व्हाट टू डू इफ यू नो समबडी बीइंग अब्यूज्ड? तो आप क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? क्या आपको पता है कि किसी को अब्यूज कर रहा है, तो आप क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? डोंट बी अफ्रेड, लिसन टू द विक्टिम स्टोरी, रीअश्योर देम टू स्टे ब्रेव. कभी भी हिम्मत नहीं हारनी है. बिलीव देयर स्टोरी, जो वो विक्टिम बता रहे हैं आपको स्टोरी, उनमें थोड़ा सा भी ऐसे नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि वो कुछ गलत बता रहा है. जो भी वो बता रहे हैं उनको आप अच्छे से सुनिए. डू नॉट ब्लेम द विक्टिम, विक्टिम को कभी भी ब्लेम नहीं करना है. वो जो विक्टिम बोल रहे हैं, वो जो बता रहे हैं, उसको ठीक तरह से सुनिए. कीप ऑन आई ऑन द सिचुएशन टू मेक श्योर इट इज नॉट गेटिंग टू डेंजरस. Ask about their immediate plans. अगर आपको ऐसे लग रहा है कि किसी को अब्यूज हो रहा है, तो you can report to a higher authority. So for you, the higher authority can be your teacher in the school, or at home it can be parent, or they can inform to the local police. So these are the people to whom you can report. Respect their decision. Have resources to keep conversation going. And be careful that any acts taken do not harm you. तो आप अपने पहले देखिए कि आपको ये हानिकारक नहीं होना चाहिए. आप अगर सेफ महसूस कर रहे हैं तो आप एक्शन ले सकते हैं. What to do if somebody is being abused? So recognize the toxic. What to do if you are being abused? So recognize the toxic behavior of the cycle of abuse. Protect yourself by leaving from the vicinity of the abuser. तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए? पहले सबसे पहले आपको अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए. Avoid escalating the situation. वो सिचुएशन को ज्यादा बढ़ाने नहीं दें और जो भी इंसिडेंट हुआ है उसको रिपोर्ट करें. रिपोर्ट द इंसिडेंट. कीप एविडेंस ऑफ द अब्यूज बाय रिकॉर्डिंग एंड फोटोग्राफिंग. आजकल तो सबके पास में ही मोबाइल है, तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं? आप रिकॉर्डिंग कर सकते हैं और फोटो ले सकते हैं. लेकिन ये जो रिकॉर्डिंग और फोटो है वो अपने आप ही रखिए, अपने आपके पास ही रखिए. आपको ये वाला जो रिकॉर्डिंग है वो कभी भी किसी को ऑनलाइन नहीं डालना है. प्लान ए सेफ्टी किट इन केस यू हैव टू लीव योर होम इन ए हरी. अगर आपको शायद ऐसे लग रहा है कि बहुत ज्यादा तकलीफ है तो आप कहीं और जा सकते हैं, तो उसके लिए आप अपना बैग बना के रख सकते हैं. लेट समवन यू ट्रस्ट नो ऑफ द अब्यूज. अगर आपको ऐसे लग रहा है कि किसी ने आपके साथ में कुछ किया है तो आप अपने फ्रेंड को बता सकते हैं, नेबर को बता सकते हैं, डॉक्टर को बता सकते हैं या पुलिस को बता सकते हैं. यू कैन इन्फॉर्म टू फ्रेंड, योर नेबर, योर डॉक्टर और योर पुलिस ऑफिसर. नेबर, लोकल पुलिस ऑफिसर. Speak out. Don't let the abuser rob you of your voice. Claiming your voice back is difficult. Yes. तो आप जो भी आपने देखा है वो आप बोल सकते हैं. Believe your words have power. तो ये आपको विश्वास रखना चाहिए कि आपका जो आप अगर कुछ बोलेंगे तो उसमें आपका लोग सुनेंगे. So believe your words have power. Speak up is the first step to end violence against women. बहुत दिनों से कहीं किसी को बहुत ज्यादा तकलीफ हो रही है तो आप उनके बारे में कुछ बता सकते हैं. तो स्पीकिंग अप इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप टू एंड वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन. टेक ए स्टैंड बिकॉज योर अब्यूजर इज अफ्रेड ऑफ योर वॉइस. डोंट लेट डाउन अनदर जनरेशन ऑफ विक्टिम. ऐसे अगर होता ही रहा तो हमारे जो यंगर जनरेशन आएंगे उनके साथ भी ऐसा ही होगा, उनके बाद जो जनरेशन आएंगे उनके साथ भी ऐसा ही होगा और ये साइकिल चलता ही रहेगा. तो इसके लिए आपको क्या करना है? गिव द विक्टिम ए प्लेटफॉर्म टू स्पीक. बिलीव द विक्टिम. उन पे विश्वास रखिए. डोंट ब्लेम द विक्टिम. स्टैंड अप फॉर जस्टिस. डोंट लेट पीपल फॉरगेट दैट वंस समवन कमिट्स अब्यूज दे आर प्रोन टू डू इट अगेन. तो अगर किसी ने कुछ किया हुआ है तो वो हो सकता है कि वो दोबारा रिपीट करें. तो इसीलिए आपको विक्टिम के बिलीव करना है और बताना भी है. सेफ्टी यूजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी. आपके पास जो मोबाइल है उसका आप कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं? तो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज डाउनलोड एंड फैमिलियराइज योरसेल्फ विद सेफ्टी एप्स. There are so many apps: Smart Share, Women Safety, Shield Protection, With You, Scream Alarm, Suspects Registry, Be Safe, Abhaya, for legal advice. Share your live location with those you trust. Take pictures of taxi driver, license plate. You can take the pictures. In case of emergency, activate your live location and app. तो ये सारे ऐप हैं, इसका आप यूज कर सकते हैं. So you can make use of your mobile phone. Now what is the distress signal? The help sign. तो ये जो distress signal है ये international distress signal है. तो कभी भी अगर आप कहीं फंस गए हैं और अगर आपको हेल्प चाहिए तो आपको क्या करना है? ये आप सब करिए. आपका कैमरे के हाथ में, आप कैमरे के सामने आपका हाथ ऐसे रखिए और जो tug your thumb inside the palm. Are you doing? Children, all of you, tuck your thumb inside the palm. Fold the 4 fingers in. Do it smartly so that it is not visible to the perpetrator. और ये आपको रिपीट करना है. क्या आप कर रहे हैं?
Doodling? Please stop doodling and making signs on the screen. Arab, why are you doing that?
आपको ये साइन रिपीटेडली करना है, लेकिन है ना आपको चुपचाप से करना है. आपको किसी को वो अगर वो परपेट्रेटर को आपको दिखा के करेंगे तो वो आपको पकड़ लेगा. तो आपको अगर हेल्प चाहिए तो ये साइन आपको रिपीटेडली करना है, लेकिन दिखा के नहीं, चुपचाप से आपको हेल्प लेनी है. तो टग योर थंब इनसाइड द palm, hold the four fingers in and do it smartly. This is called the international distress signal. This is the help sign. आपने समझ गया ये आपको? You can write the feedback in the chat box. If you have understood, you write that you have understood the distress sign. Please write it in the chat box. If you see the distress signal, check in with the person safely to find out what they need and what you can do. Thank you that you have understood the distress signal. Thank you. Thank you for your responses in the chat box. If you see the signal, check in with the person safely to find out what they need and what you can do. If you find a threat of danger, call the local police and call the helplines which are mentioned later. जो अभी आपके सारी जो हेल्पलाइन है उसको आपको बहुत अच्छे से समझना है, और नंबर काफी बड़े नहीं है तो आप उनको याद भी कर सकते हैं. तो जैसे कि आप कौन से नंबर है वो जो आपको हेल्पफुल है. Who to contact? What are the numbers? So All India Women Helpline, Women in Distress, the number is 1091. इसका ये स्लाइड का आप स्क्रीनशॉट भी ले सकते हैं या फिर कैमरे से आप फोटो भी ले सकते हैं. वुमेन्स डोमेस्टिक अब्यूज हेल्पलाइन 181. तो हर जगह के अपने अपने लोकल हेल्पलाइन नंबर होते हैं, तो आपके जो रीजन में एरिया में जो हेल्पलाइन नंबर है वो आप फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. एंड यू ऑल नो व्हाट इज द लोकल पुलिस हेल्पलाइन number, so which you can direct. So helplines for specialized cases. So there are some helpline which are for specialized cases. Gender based violence, command crime. So there are some numbers. ये भी slide का आप screenshot ले सकते हैं. Do you know what is the helpline for child helpline number? It is 1098. Can you please write in the chat box? All children, please write in the chat box what is the child helpline number. Okay, thank you for your response. Okay, so domestic violence helpline number भी है अलग से, वो भी आप उनका यूज कर सकते हैं. Okay, thank you very much for your responses. The reporting process. तो हम आप किस किस को कुछ इंसिडेंट्स हुआ है तो आप किस किस को बता सकते हैं. तो रिपोर्ट द इंसिडेंट्स टू लोकल पुलिस, स्पेशल पुलिस यूनिट, रिकॉर्ड स्टेटमेंट फॉर पुलिस विद इन 24 hours, गो टू हॉस्पिटल, शेल्टर होम फॉर मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन बाय फीमेल डॉक्टर. ओके, थैंक यू फॉर योर रिस्पॉन्स. Record statement for magistrate. Special court shall complete trial within 1 year. Next slide. Girls are strong, so let's keep them that way. Next slide. आपने सबने रजिस्ट्रेशन कर लिया है और प्री टेस्ट भी कर लिया है. After the session, kindly do the post test and give your feedback. Certificate will be awarded to participant on course attendance. Courageous together. Say no to violence against women. #Dheera together. Let's tweet together. Build a voice. Our target is 1 lakh. Thank you.
Much, Nandini. It has been an absolute good afternoon, everyone. Sabita, good afternoon. I'm just in for 2 minutes. Good to see everyone here. And it's so wonderful to have, Sabita coordinate this entire initiative with all the schools. I'm truly delighted to be here. And dear teachers and all the students, it's wonderful to have you all attend this important program, which has been an initiative of our beloved President, Dr. Shanta Kumari, and she initiated this almost 6 years back, and it has been going across in different places, in different forums across different countries, and it has finally reached our own country. And the program began in December 2021, and since then we have reached out to almost 25,000 students all across the country. And we are hopeful by end of this year, we should do about 150,000 students, both girls and boys, across the countries, including government schools, which is the public school, and the private schools as well. And because we are, in this kind of experiential learning of going online because of COVID, it has given us a fantastic opportunity to be able to reach many more schools than it would have been possible for us to do so when we were doing it physically. So my humble thank you to all the teachers who are present here, the school authorities who are present here, and the principals if you are here on this call. Thank you very much for doing this. I will address two questions here. One Rajiv has raised and one Divyansh has raised. Rajiv, I do agree that there are certain rules and regulations which have been passed on by certain state governments, which do not allow a certain or prescribe a certain dress code for girls, which to our mind is very restrictive, and it is a violation of the rights of any individual. Forget it's only related to girls. And this ideally should not happen. But there are times that some things are beyond our control, and the political masters think that they know it all, and they are the ones who decide what is good and what is not good for you. And all of you must have also been reading something, and this is not specific to our country. This is also happening across various countries, including the developed countries like the US, for instance, and you must have been reading about the Roe v. Wade case and the overturning of the abortion rights of women in that particular country. So, it's a constant struggle. It's a constant fight. And this is what we have started is but a small step in the right direction. And we are hopeful that we will be able to make a change. And we are hopeful that each one of you sitting here, the youngsters, will be making a change, because you are the torch bearers. आप सभी लोगों के हाथ में ये सारी चीजें हैं. जब आप एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन की तरह बढ़ के आगे आएंगे और आप लोग ये सब समझ गए हैं और समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हमें ऐसी उम्मीद है कि हम रहें ना रहें, आप लोग इस चीज को आगे लेके जाएंगे और इस चीज को अपने दिमाग में रख के पूरी तरह से सक्षम रहेंगे कि आप इसको आगे लेके जाएं. दिव्यांश, यू हैव रेज्ड अ क्वेरी व्हाई देयर इज लड़कों के लिए कोई हेल्पलाइन नहीं है. ये जो नंबर हमने दिया है 1098, ये चाइल्ड हेल्पलाइन है. इसमें लड़के ये लड़कियां, ये कोई डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं है, और लड़के और लड़कियां दोनों ही इस चीज से अफेक्ट हो सकते हैं. Therefore, this is a common helpline for everybody to reach out to and come back with whatever you want to do. So with that, I think I have answered few of the questions. I will have to leave now. May I request the teachers who are present here, a humble request, especially the teachers who are present here, whose students are attending physically. Please make sure at the end of the program, you are submitting the Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, please give the names of the students, name, surname. Sabita, please forward them the email in the Excel sheet format, so that the schools get it and fill it and send it. Teachers, you all also please mention your name in the format, so that you also get a certificate. And please share with us the complete full name of your school, so that we can award a Dheera champion certificate for each of the school, which we will be proud to share it with you because you have been part of this major initiative. That's from me. Thank you very much. And I wish all of you all the very best, and please do carry on with the program. Thank you so much, Sabita, for doing this, and all the faculty who are present here. Thank you so much for doing this on a Saturday, early morning or late afternoon, and taking this motivational talk with all the students present over here. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Please carry on, Sabita. Yeah.
Role of active bystanders. You have done the registration. After the sessions, do the post test and give your valuable feedback, and then the certificate will be awarded to you. Now, who is a bystander? An individual who observes an act of violence, discrimination, or other problematic behavior, but are not its direct perpetrator. So what are the types of bystander? So there can be active bystander and passive bystander. So active bystander who take action and try to stop it, and passive bystander do not take any action or intervene. So they might not intervene. There might be some different reasons: social influence, audience inhibition, fear of retaliation, like someone else will help, or too busy to go to work, so they don't take active part. Active part are the people, active bystanders are the people who take action, who take photos, who do recording, who call the police, or they themselves help. So they are the active bystanders. So there are 5 Ds. What are the 5 Ds? The weapons of active bystander. So bystander क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? So first is distract. All of you try to remember what are the 5 Ds, and at the end write what are the 5 Ds in the chat box. So first D is distract. So the distract मतलब ध्यान बटाना. It's a subtle and safe way to intervene. The aim is to interrupt and derail the incident. Pretend to be lost. Ask for time or address of a place. Pretend you know the person being harassed. Talk something irrelevant and take the action of the harasser. लेकिन अगर आपने देखा कि वहां पे कुछ हो रहा है, तो आप है ना विक्टिम जो है उनके पास जा सकते हैं और ऐसे बता सकते हैं कि जैसे आप विक्टिम को पहले से जानते हैं, तो उसको पूछ सकते हैं कि टाइम क्या है, एड्रेस क्या है, आपको कहीं जाना है तो मैं छोड़ देता हूँ, और उनसे कुछ आप उनसे थोड़ा सा कुछ बात करके अनुमान लगा सकते हैं कि एक्चुअली वहां पे क्या हो रहा है. So this is distract. The second D is delay. So delaying can reduce the severity. Ask the victim if she is okay. Offer to accompany her to her destination or sit with her for a while. तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं? विक्टिम के साथ में थोड़ा सा बैठ सकते हैं, उनको थोड़ा सा बात कर सकते हैं और अनुमान लगा सकते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है, और पूछ सकते हैं कि आप उनको उनके घर तक छोड़ सकते हैं क्या. So that is delay. So you have to remember what are the 5 Ds and write in the chat box. The third D is delegate. Delegation is when you ask for assistance, for a resource or for help from a third party. मतलब आप किसी और को पूछ रहे हैं हेल्प के लिए. If near a shop, ask the shopkeeper. अगर वहां पे दुकान है बहुत सारी, तो वहाँ शॉपकीपर को आप पूछ सकते हैं हेल्प के लिए. अगर आप बस में हैं, तो आप बस कंडक्टर को पूछ सकते हैं हेल्प के लिए. और अगर आप स्कूल में हैं, तो आप टीचर से कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. If you are in school, contact the teacher for help. So this is the way you can take the help, and this is called as delegation, or it is to delegate. The fourth D is document. First, assess the situation. Is anyone helping the person being harassed? If not, use one of the other Ds. If someone else is already helping out, ask for assess your own safety. अगर आपको पहले ये देखना है कि आप खुद सेफ हैं क्या. Only if you are safe, then only go ahead and start recording. Always ask the person who was harassed what they want to do with the recording. कभी भी recording online नहीं डालनी है. कोई भी photograph, आपने कोई वीडियो लिया है, फोटो लिया है या कुछ भी आपने रिकॉर्ड किया है, never put it online. So these are the way in which you can document. और ये डॉक्यूमेंट करते समय आपको ये देखना है कि आप खुद सेफ हैं या नहीं. Fifth D. So using an image or footage of a person being victimized without the person's consent may make the person feel even more depressed and can lead to a level of visibility that person may not want. Publicizing any person's traumatic experience is no way to effective bystander. So आपको कभी भी कोई भी चीज फोटोग्राफ वीडियो डॉक्यूमेंट ऑनलाइन नहीं डालना है. What is the fifth D? Fifth D is direct. Directly respond to harassment by naming what is happening or confronting the harasser. This can be risky. The harasser may redirect their abuse towards you. It may escalate the situation. Be clear, confident, and cautious. So this is direct. When the golden rule is 100 or 1098. Only intervene if it is safe for you to do so. If not safe, call the police and the child helpline number. You can always dial 100 or 1098. That is the golden rule. So what are the other ways in which you can help? So organize actions like writing stories, posters और नुक्कड़ नाटक. अगर आपके स्कूल में कोई कंपटीशन है तो आप ऐसे राइटिंग में लिख सकते हैं, आप पोस्टर बना सकते हैं, आप नुक्कड़ नाटक कर सकते हैं. Appreciate someone practicing bystander intervention. If you know some organization is working for it, donate your time and ideas. So आप जो भी ideas हैं, time है, आप थोड़ा सा दे सकते हैं. या ये सब करके आप थोड़ा सा इसमें सहभाग दे सकते हैं. The wrong things to say. Why did she go at night? Why did she park her scooter there? Why did she go alone? Why did she call her sister instead of police? That is 100 number. Victim blaming should never be done. Never. You have already done the registration and the pre-test. After all the sessions, kindly write the post-test and feedback. Certificate will be awarded to participant on course attendance and submission of registration, pre-test, post-test and feedback. And kindly write your responses in the chat box. Courageous together, say no to violence against women. Dheera together, let's tweet together. Build a voice. Our target is 1 lakh tweets. So add your courageous voice to the conversation. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you start with the second next session?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr. Chitra from Bangalore. So today we are going to talk about an important that bridging the gender divide. So पहले मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ जिसके all the girls over here, how many have brothers and how many have seen that there is inequality among you both people towards from parents? तो ज्यादा लोग बॉयज को प्रिफर करते हैं और ज्यादा फ्रीडम बॉयज को देते हैं. सो कितने घर में ऐसे होता है? कैन यू जस्ट पुट अप इन द चैट लाइक इट हैपेंस विद अस और समथिंग. So I'll just check into that. So as we have to remind you on and often that you need to do the registration and pre-test, and after the session you are supposed to do the post-test and feedback, and then on the certificate will be given to you. So when you see that there's always a concept, structurally, socially constructed concept is there. Like, okay, girls' name should be like Kashish, Naina, Gunjan. Boys' name should be always be Shiva, Nihar, Harsha. So this is a concept we have developed. It is like boys' name should be this only, girls' name should be this only. So our thing starts from the childhood itself only, how they discriminate between the boys and the girls' names too. I mean, when we have a different characteristics, like they have put up so many characteristics. If I name them, who is active? You always tell females are more active than the males. Who is considerate? Again, females are considerate. Who is aggressive? Male is aggressive. Who is more creative? Again, you will tell female is creative. Who is ambitious? You think males are ambitious. Who is more competitive? Males are competitive. Who is more independent? It is the female. Emotional, female. Leader, male. Artistic, female. Mechanical, male. Gentle, female. So this is all these characteristics all is inculcated from the society, is inculcated from the from the surroundings, from the inspired from others. It's not like inbred. It is the one, we are the one who are telling male should be like this, female should be like this. So why we are stereotyping? So why we are stereotyping? Males only should do like this, females only should do this. Girls, लड़के ऐसे काम नहीं कर सकते. I think how many people have watched हम तुम? They'll tell no, लड़के ऐसे काम नहीं कर सकते, लड़कों के काम नहीं कर सकते हैं. So this is the way. So this stereotyping has so much ingrained in our culture that it has become habitual. So until unless it changes, like we have seen from the household only, when the males are given preference, it's also understood the girls when they grow up, they get married, they go to a hometown, when they give a birth to a boy or a girl child, they also follow the same thing, giving more preference to girl child than the more preference to the boy child than the girl child. So that is a one thing which you have to change the stereotyping on thing. And other thing, the society. In the society, they show the violent behavior of these males as a heroism. Which a movie you watch that if there's a violent behavior of the male, it is acceptable. But you have the same violent behavior, it you turn out to be like it is not good. Girls shouldn't have acted like this. They shouldn't have fought like this. So this is also will have an inculcate on the mindset of the people. And one more, parents are more likely to use physical punishment with sons than with their daughters. Yes, at home also, if any mistake is done, they can do a physical, they can hit the boy, they can slap the boys, but they are very generous to us. They might just scold. That is, there also occurs some inequality. Parents are more likely to tolerate the violent behavior in the boys than in the girls. And when girls start showing aggressiveness or start giving opinion or takes up the leadership role, and if any family get together, they ask more of the boys, what is your opinion? Aap kya karna chahte ho? But when the girl starts giving opinion, it is quite neglected, and you cannot give opinions for the family matters. So stereotypical rules restrict the personal choice, they foster sexism and create unequal outcomes. So is really gender bias social evil? Yes, it is. You not respecting the woman, it is going to have a bad effect on the society and also in the economic burden of this whole of our country. It is shown that in our society, women are oppressed both officially and unofficially. They are more targeted even in the workplace, at the hometown, by the neighbors or things. So this discrimination, it starts from the young age. We have seen and very household, more household courses are given to girls. Boys are not given, and even the education also is more given to boys compared to girls. They think लड़कियों को क्या पढ़ाना है तो देखो दूसरा कर जाती है, हमको no advantage for us. So in this way, the girls are told to learn the household work and to behave submissively. Whenever there is a thing like now also, I think we have seen the male babies are preferred more than the female babies. I think recently I saw one movie. What is that? Ranveer Singh movie, Jordar something. Jayesh by Jordar, yeah. It just shows the female feticide. I mean, they need to have a male baby to continue the hierarchy of the family. So this male concept is so much in our society. It's time that we need to start having that gender equality. Workplace discrimination at work causes pregnant women to be fired and a massive wage gap between the men and women. We have seen any ladies who are working become pregnant. Most of the good projects are not given to her. She'll be thinking like no promotion will be given to her, and even a salary will also will be reduced. So many things happens when the women become pregnant and they're in the some of this working place. And even the wage gap, even the two male and female are doing the same work, there'll be more amount or more wages will be given to male compared to that of the females. Like in our whole movies example you can take, so all heroes are paid in crores, whereas the heroines are paid in lakhs for the same amount of the work. No woman is safe from the sexual harassment such as eve-teasing or catcalling. Once in a lifetime, every woman in this world would have undergone some sexual harassment, either by eve-teasing or abuse. Women are called goddesses, but even the tiniest mistakes done by them, they are considered unworthy of being respected. If a girl who wears a short clothes, who would be wearing saree, suddenly she wears short clothes and goes, oh, our character is not good. You have every right to comment. Every person starts commenting. So we women always ask, we do not want to be treated like goddesses, but we just want to be treated like humans. So it has occurred that some of the countries, they don't even give the women the voting rights, and they don't have, as I told you, in our own country itself, in the rural settings, they don't have equal access to education, and child marriages, dowry are very prevalent. Women are not given proper opportunities at the work, and even 1,000 women talks, the one man's voice is taken into consideration, considering the 1,000 women's voices. And women are always dependent. When they are young, depend on the father. When they get married, they depend on the husband. When they become old, they depend on the son. So in that way, what happened? They have very less access to financial resources. So there's not enough representation for women in many fields, including that of the politics and leadership. Already I have seen that chat when Mr. Rajesh Sharma has already pointed out why women can stand in politics and ask for more percentage of seats to represent our country. So all the genders have to work together as allies. First, to create a gender neutral, to gender responsive and equal society. And we'll try to eliminate the gender inequality and the gender bias. So this gender bias prejudice is not an issue of one gender. It can be occurs for both the genders. So boys, it's not enough to not to commit violence. We should be willing to take up the 8 active steps to ensure that no other men commit such crime or violence. So first thing, share the care. I want to ask how many boys in this class or in this thing will really help their mom, really help mom in their household work? How many really help? If yes means put yes. I hope no one is sleeping or all busy eating. Very good. Yuvraj is helping. Very nice. So if you're not helping, please start doing. It's because women take more than three times of this unpaid care and domestic work than men. And they spend all their energy, emotional labor at home with the family, for the upliftment of the family, for the raising of the children. She'll forget her own career and just looking after themselves. So little thing what we can do, we can start doing it from our home itself. Appreciate those who help you unconditionally. Respect the sacrifices being made for you. Offer to help whenever you can. And encourage women to take up their own interest. Let it be your sister, your mother. If they have some interest, if you see that, just try to promote it. Next, hold yourself accountable. आप जो भी काम करते you be responsible for that. Respect men and women equally. Be aware of your own behavior. Make sure you're open to criticism. Change yourself when you see the toxic environment. Change the notions of traditional masculinity. जब भी हम we see some boys crying और saying ये क्या लड़कन के जैसे रो रहा है. No, that is not. You need to tell, okay, it can happen. It can happen to males also. Males are also human beings and females also are human beings. So what are the emotions they have together? It is shared by both of them. So treat everyone the same way regardless of the gender. Allow yourself the freedom to break norms and challenge the stereotypes. You come out of this. Nay, this is not only the female should cry, only female should suffer. No, you come out of all these norms and you try to question. Thus, do not allow you to change these stereotypes, and do not excuse men just because they are men. Make the sensible male fashionable, not alpha male. Men cry too. Men can break down, men can have anxiety, even men can have emotions. Most of them, they can feel insecure, they can get abused, they have a mental illness. So it is very not unmanly to struggle. So even in this topic of violence against women, we like to tell, even let's support men too. Let's encourage men too. Don't belittle or silence men, because men struggle too. So sensitive men will change the next generation. The how sensitive, how you're going to make this men grow up, that is going to change the how they behave towards the females. Fourth point, respect other choices. When someone's make you uncomfortable, ask yourself why they are making you uncomfortable. What is the reason? Examine the bias between you and your sister, or you and your colleague in the workplace, or you and your boss. Consider circumstances that make your life different from others. Do not judge or shame them for the choices they have made. Fifth point is very important, consent. Consent is the one which you are supposed to take from everyone before you plan to do anything to that person. It is freely given, it is reversible, it is informed, it is enthusiastic, it is specific. वो लड़की हंसी तो फंसी. You don't consider any girl laughs at you that she is fallen for you, she loves you. So a clear consent of S is necessary for anyone to tell you yes, that she really loves you or she really agrees to work with you. And boys will be always, boys is never acceptable. जो भी boys करते हैं ना वो ठीक है, क्योंकि वो लड़के लोग हैं. I said no, stop that norms. Boys will always be boys. No, you have to try to question. No, be your boy. You're not supposed to do like this. And she was asking for it. Start blaming again. She was asking, why can't you go and ask her why you're doing it? So this is a way you have to stand up for your own sake. Never victim the blame. So if anyone has undergone some type of victimization, don't start blaming. The previous slide showed why you're wearing a short dress, why you did not park your vehicle over there. Stop blaming the victim. You start supporting the person. Then, sixth point is call out sexism, harassment. If you see someone suffering from the sexual abuse or sexual remarks, please try to support them. You see it, you name it, and you stop it. See, it has many studies, articles have shown that all women experience sexual harassment at least once in their lifetime, and they experience every 6 even once a week. So when you find someone is doing like this, try to call out such behavior in a safe, respectful manner. Be an active bystander. Try to stop it. Do not excuse it, whether it can be friends, relatives, or co-workers. You need to try to stop it. When you try to stop it, people become aware of this. You cannot take any persons who are working with you for granted. Let's challenge the gender stereotyping. How you are challenging? Question your own stereotyping and prejudice. How you act towards others. You start questioning whether I'm doing right with my sister, my brother, my mother, or my friends. Girl, this is you stop. You start questioning yourself: is it right or not? So challenge any stereotypical notions of gender, like women are not good at driving. I myself, when I'm driving with my husband, once he told like this, see that she overtook and she's not taking properly. Girls don't know how to drive. So I started challenging. She overtook that way because some other males came and dashed her from here. So this is when you start challenging the argument with the facts, they will not stop commenting from next thing. Okay, most important is believe the survivors. Every time a woman speaks up about the experiences, or she has gone either she has undergone rape or sexual harassment or sexual abuse, so a toxic culture flourishes. If she opens up and talks, you need to support her rather than blaming her. So first listen, believe, and support. Be an ally and offer unconditional support. Whenever you press on the dialogues on this Google, women should, it starts as stay at home, not work, being seen, not heard. So let us start changing the narrative, make a gender neutral society. So we can do anything to become anything. So let's do. Thank you so much, and please do the post test and the feedback to get the certificate. So let us all courageously together say no to violence against women. This is all the hashtag Dheera together. Let's all tweet together in the Instagram. So building a voice, our more target is to reach more than 1 lakh of students so that we add our courageous voice to this conversation. Thank you so much. Yeah, I need to share one more thing. Shall I continue the last one also, ma'am? Any doubts you have, please put it in the chat box.
करो.
Yeah, ma'am, can I continue? Nandini, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Can.
Oh, okay, thank you. So with that thing of breaking the gender divide, please, I request everyone, it starts from the home. Start equally respecting your sisters and your mother and your friends, and you find something happening, please try to voice out. So each one start voicing out, it spreads to that. That's why we want to encourage the students, because you are the one who are going to become a future generations of this society. So let us start with you, and so that after 5 or 10 years, we can see that there is no violence against any woman in our country. So next, we are going to talk on the decoding the peer pressure. So our main highlights of this is identifying a toxic environment, good versus bad touch, the concept of the consent, and the power of telling no. So again, I'm reminding you, please try to do the post-test after this session and give the feedback about this session, and then you will get the certificates, and you'll try to spread this message to other of your friends and colleagues. So what is this peer pressure? Peer pressure is an influence that peers have on each other to conform to behaviors and personal habits. So we are in a group of friends, then we are friends that okay, मैं ऐसा करूँगी तो group मुझे accept कर लेगी, I like to be liked by the groups. So in that way, you try to change a lot of things to get into a group of people. So most of the time, this peer pressure is too subtle, but sometimes it becomes a very enormous effects. When you try to do things for others, for the sake of others, against your own will and wish, can have a dire consequences on your own individuality. So what are the types of peer pressure? One can be spoken. One peer openly pursues other. Like in a group of friends, one friend, chalo aaj cigarette pee lena, chalo aaj jaake aap bike le lena. So certain things where by which are not affordable, someone forces you to get something, that is known as directly spoken. Unspoken, one peer is persuaded by exposed to the other behavior, means you are just observing one person wearing a nice suit, tie, everything, you get influenced by him, and you also feel okay, if I look like this, people will accept me. So even though you're not able to have afford, you like to buy those things just to impress others, that is known as unspoken. Direct, when one peer has an influence to make on-spot decision. So in a group of friends, you will be telling one person is smoking, "Aaj tu jo cigarette pee ke dikha jaye, dekhenge ki kaise piyega ki nahi." So in that way, you try to, though it is against your moral code, you try to smoke cigarette or you try to take an alcohol. That is known as a direct peer pressure. Indirect peer pressure means when a peer overhears neither gossiping and changes the behavior due to indirect pressure. Again, in a group of people, in a group of pressure, when someone you overheard telling that ye ladka hamare sath wo piyega nahi, smoke nahi karega, wife we should take for a party, all those things, when you hear them telling, you will think, okay, I need to start dressing up properly, I need to take drinks, I need to do smoking, so that people accept me to be a part of the group. So that is having an indirect effect on you. And negative, when a peer is pressures into behavior that is against their moral code, when you try to do all those things, things, and you come from some cultural background family, and they are forced to do something like smoking, drinking, going out and doing bad jokes or something, then it is against your moral code and it can have a negative influence on you too. But sometimes this peer pressure can also have a positive effect. When a peer is influenced by behavior, that can be healthy and it can be responsible too. So coming, how do you avoid this uncomfortable situation? If आप लोग इस group में है, then how you are going to face this and come out? First, avoid going out with strangers. Okay, don't give yourself to strangers. And whenever you're going out with strangers, see that or you inform the relatives, or see that you take the phone always with you and put on many nowadays you have a lot of this thing, the phone where you can share your location. See that, inform someone and share the location. And when you're going to respect each other's boundaries, you have to tell them this is a boundary. Okay, when you respect each other's boundary, then you have a good relationship. Be confident when you find they're going behind your boundaries. Be confident enough to say no to anything which you're not comfortable with. And if you're really in a place where you are not able to escape, always dial police. So if you think you're in danger. So we have certain things where you feel that this is a toxic environment, I need to avoid these people. So there are certain things which you tell boys whom we have to avoid. Boys who are against feminism, लड़कियों के देश बात करना, ये लड़के ऐसे हैं, लड़के ऐसे. When they go on constantly telling about females are not good, females are like this, you stop avoiding those boys. Boys who are rude to their mothers, जो अपनी मम्मी को गाली देते हैं, जो अपनी सिस्टर्स को गाली देते हैं, when they talk to you, they are sure not going to respect you in the future. So stop talking, avoiding those boys. Boys who don't respect for their physical boundaries, in spite of you telling not to touch, or in spite of telling you're not able to come, again they tell no, you have to come. If you come only, I'm going to buy you this. If you come in, so stop avoiding those. Start avoiding those boys. Boys who pressure you to send you nude pictures. Even it can be a boyfriend, or it can be even say pursue you to send you nude pictures. You understand that is a time you need to avoid those boys. And boys who fight unnecessarily for simple reasons. And boys who use very bad words to you. And boys who comment on a girl's appearance without asking her opinion. And boy who makes jokes on rape jokes about the others. So try to avoid these boys. And there's not only boys, there's also girls whom the boys should avoid. Girls who think it's unmanly to cry, tu ladka hai, tu ro nahi sakta, you should be try to avoid them. Girls who slap or hit their boyfriends for no reasons, that means you need to avoid them. And girls who are totally materialistic, who don't have an emotional connection, who don't go for only materialist things, try to avoid them. Girls who call other girls in bad words or anything which you think it is not a reasonable, try to avoid them. Girls who don't respect your physical boundaries. Girls who call your girl thinking it's an insult. And also girls who don't think men can be victims of abuse and rape. Girls try to avoid them. So learning differences with the toxic people, then you have to take, just avoiding them is the first step in cleansing the toxicity. Okay, sometimes you are put in a situation where you cannot escape. We don't know how to escape from each one thing. So sometimes what happens, you are talking over phone and you know the person on the other side is abusing you. So आप बोले सकते हैं ना, अगर आप ऐसे ही बात करेंगे तो हम फोन रखते हैं. You have every right because you are just on the phone. I will end up this phone call if you continue to shout at me. You have every right to tell no to anything which you are not comfortable with. And if someone is making you wait for hours together, it's ready to stand up, you can tell them, I can wait only for 30 minutes more. That's all. And thank you for your offer. Unfortunately, I can't make it. If someone calls you a place which you're not comfortable with, yes, you have every time to tell this. I'm not comfortable discussing that. If you find someone on the phone or someone in live are discussing with you which you're not comfortable with, you don't have to undergo all those things, discomfort. You have right to tell that I'm not comfortable discussing that. Please do not discuss it with me. And I need time to think. If someone proposes you or someone you're not comfortable with, you can always tell, I need time to think about it. I will come back to you. And when you're in working continuously for 5 days in a week and go on a weekend, and again they put you a lot of, because you're a girl, you can do the work, they send you mails to do a lot of projects. You have a right to tell, I don't respond to work mails at the weekend. And then if you have anything, something you're not comfortable with, you need to tell that I'm not comfortable with that. If you do it again, I will have to leave the place. So every way you need to tell, I respect your opinion, but this is my life, my decision. No one can decide for you. You yourself have to decide for you. So set the boundaries which are comfortable and no one can touch you. Coming to good touch was bad touches. And now most of the people, I think every school is telling, taking the classes on the physical things of the thing, which is good touch and which is in bad touch. So it is one, sometimes it so happens that peer pressure can make it feel like all touches are acceptable. Even with an office or your home, anything with touches, you think it is acceptable. No, speak out whenever you feel uncomfortable, because you have power to say no to anything. Even when you tell no, that is more than enough for the person to withdraw your behavior. So no cannot be always word no. It can be a lot of other meanings can also be there for that no. They can tell stop, they can turn away, they can push you away, they can shout at you, they can tell I'm not ready, they can tell get away from me, they might scream stop. All this no means no. That please remember, I think many people would have watched movie Pink. Yes? Yeah, in that thing, I feel I still remember the Amitabh Bachchan. It has one dialogue at the end is no means no. You should respect the consent of the person. You cannot force anyone to give consent for anything. But if yes means there's only one thing, that is a freely given consent where both person needs, wants, and desires forms an integral part of an interaction. So consent is a permission for doing anything, but always ask for consent. Do not assume consent. You just go and do anything, and respect always consent. Do not coerce anyone to give consent. When you say no, let it be no. Don't say maybe. Maybe cannot be confusing. That's why I'm telling you, no, it's always stand up to the peer pressure. Don't say maybe if you want to say no. No means no. So just say no, nahi, no, whatever, but the word no should be there if you are not comfortable in any situation. So if for other ways are this, if you cannot say no, you can just leave the scene and say see you later. Other things you can make up an excuse like, oh mummy ne kuch pata tha lane ke liye, I'll just go back and come back to you. Or if you want to use a humor, if you're very friendly with person, if you don't want to walk away, or you want to just be in a humorous way and try to tell them, if my parents found out like main aapke saath thi, so I think they'll put up in my room for 30 years. They won't give me food properly. They can give me only bangan and broccoli. So make it something humorous and try to leave that place, or change the subject. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you that, and try to involve some other subject to make it more interesting to that person. And to suggest a better idea, just tell that let's go out, check out this place. So a lot of things can be done. Please remember to always listen to your gut instinct. You will come to know that there's something instinct, it occurs in every female. When something bad is going to happen, try to take that opportunity to come out with excuses if you're not comfortable with. So it is, we need to have a better future for future generation. For that, we need to have a no violence against women. So as Malala has told that, I want every girl to know that her voice can change the world. So you need to have a voice for raising the voice against anything which you're not comfortable with. So again, coming back to, please do the post test and the feedback to get the certificate. So I thank everyone who helped to collaborate this project, and thank you Shanta madam, and thank you other Nandini madam and Subita madam. Thanks for this opportunity. I hope we did justice to this program. I hope some students, everyone carries this message and starts inculcating in their life. Thank you.
Can some of the students tell us what are the 5 Ds? Can you please write in the chat box? Students, how much you have understood? What are the different types of 5 Ds? If there are teachers, they can ask the student to get up and tell what are the different types of 5 Ds. They can talk in the class. Do they have a mic?
I think Sabita madam asked few questions to Akanksha, Yashvi Bharti, Shubhi Pandey, Kritika. Kritika, you can unmute yourself. You can answer, or you can just message over there, or is anyone can message for your sake.
Thank you for your responses. Okay, some of the students can get up and show what is the international distress sign. Teachers, you can see if they are doing it properly. All of you can do the international distress sign, and teachers, please see if the students are doing it properly.
Yeah, good.
Thank you for cooperating, and we wish all the best and good future for all of you.
Yeah, tell me how many boys are going to work towards the gender equality? How many are going to help their mom, sister, friends? Yeah, I want that. How many people are going to change the future? Yes, you can put yes. Yes, we are going to change the future of women in our country. Good, good. Even 10 people tell, no, that's enough for us. 10 can spread to 100, 100 to thousands, thousands to lakh. Okay, good. So, ma'am, let's wind up then. Thank you, Shanta madam, Ajay sir, and the team. And thank you, where is madam? Madam is not there. Sabita madam. Ajay sir, can you wind up the technical team, or any questions are there?
Madam, I posted the posters feedback link in the chat
Okay.
box, madam.
Okay.
You just inform
Shall
them
we
to
leave
click on the
there?
link. Yes, yes, ma'am. Just
Okay,
have
thank
to
you so much. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. They have to click on the link to fill the posters and the feedback, madam. Once they submitted, we'll issue the certificates.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah.